views expressed on this program are those of the hosts, guests, and callers, and are not necessarily those of this station, its management, or other advertisers. You're listening to Transformation Talk Radio.
The following audio is via a Skype call.
When was the last time you did something that would take you closer to a life that you'd love? Get answers to this and many other life-changing questions on Grow Your Soul Radio. Ignite your inner magic and learn the art of life mastery with Jane Matanga. Jane will unlock and help you reclaim the magic in your life. Take an inspiring journey with Jane as you receive guidance toward the path of your greatest dreams and desires as she helps you reach success as you make powerful changes that will get you back on track and keep you there. Discover insightful tools, world wisdoms, and exercises in this hit call-in show. Transform and awaken your inner light right now on Grow Your Soul Radio.
Hey, everybody, welcome. I'm Dr. Pat, and I am here with my co-host, Jade Matanga. And today's show, I'm telling you, amazing. You know, you just heard us talking about these lessons by Mark and, you know, the wisdom of his grandfather, Charlie. And this is kind of part two from Jane. We're talking about this one thing we did not talk about in the last hour, and that is your passion and power. I love this, and I love what Jane does. For those of you out there, as she has done so beautifully, she brings this message, this beautiful message of how to overcome your fears, how to gain this inspiration needed to awaken your path to joy. Now, her life's work, you could find out about that at enlightened-path.com. And what you're going to find when you look at this, you're going to find someone that has decades of experience in business and in training, just like me. You know, somehow we went down that pathway. But what happens with that is we bring forth the energy, the passion, and the purpose that we have, because something happened along the way to becoming Jane. And something happens that allows us to expand, to look at holistic modalities of integrated and healing approaches so that we can change our lives. This is what she does. She works with people all over the world so that opportunities for growth are something of the norm and positive change is the outcome. So whether you're working with Jane side by side or working with her remotely, the one thing you'll know is that Eastern Western healing modalities, all of the above, come into play in life mastery, the art of living well. Whether it's intuition that is showing up to guide the way or pure wisdom, you're part of the process, and today's show is all about you. It's about this passion and power. And hi, Mr. Benny. Want to give you a shout out here before we get going.
Hi, Pat.
You ready for this one?
Always.
Yeah, boy. Jane, passion and power. I love it.
Oh, it's such a good topic. It's everything. It's everything. So I want to start it by just saying, you know, one quote, which I think kind of sums it all up, and we'll talk more about that. But it's from William Barclay Scottish, and he says, I quote, "There are two great days in a person's life, the day you were born and the day we discover why." And why is that important? It's all about your passion and your purpose and why we're all here. You know, all of us are here with a gift to give. And so what does it mean to live a passionate life, to live an awakened life? I think what I hear a lot in my practice is people have trouble identifying that, and they're living in the shadow of kind of their work and their life, you know?
Sadly, too. You know, so like this is what we're talking about, passion and purpose today, right? But, you know, there are now studies. Not only have I know about the studies, so do you, but I've conducted them. And we now have studies that talk about the number of people in the United States, let's just stay in the U.S. for the moment, but the number of people that wake up, how do they wake up? How many people do we think out there actually wake up, Jane, feeling inspired, happy, and passionate, right?
Yes. Sadly, in the United States, they have done studies on that. The people who study happiness and people living passionate lives. And it's really going to shock you when I tell you that only 20% of us wake up feeling passionate. And so, that's shocking. And that's something that is, we need to pay attention to. We need to have an awakened life. We need to be aware of our feelings and plug into that and light up, because, the alternative to that is, living an unfulfilled life, going through the motions and waking up. And instead of getting out of bed and feeling joyful, you're getting up and going, "Ooh, good God, it's morning." Who wants to wake up like that, every day? That is a life sentence, not, passionate living. And you want to ignite and light up and live in a state of joy and be passionate about things you do and do things that speak to you and do your gift and do your dance and feel purposeful, you know?
Yeah. Here's the thing I love about this. Okay, so that statistic, as a researcher, here's what I want to tell everybody about that. That 20% number is totally inflated. Do you know why? People that don't wake up joyfully don't take those surveys. They don't take them. So, we're looking at a modest number. And, I think it's just the tip of the iceberg. The question is, what is it that each of us can do? And that's really what today's show is about. It's about looking at what you've discovered in the countless people you've worked with to really ask, let's look at this. It is a choice, right?
It's totally a choice every day and every moment, getting tuned into that, what feels good, what lights you up, what gets you tired, what zaps your energy. That you need to pay attention to that, because that's your intuition and that's your GPS, and that's your internal GPS telling you to pay attention to that. And so that's how we get out of fear, is listening to what lights us up.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting. I'm sorry. I'm one of these people, Jane. I need a lot of help. And I've shared this before. People think, oh man, you're just Pat. Like, that's you. That's what you do. Don't you ever get tired interviewing people? I don't. I want to learn how to stay happy. Now, therapists would say, you know what, Pat, we get it. That's because you watched your mom be depressed and then kill herself when you were a child. Maybe that's true. Maybe there's something, to that. But the point is, I do have to say consciously, Jane, I want to be happy. And I want to find out how to do that. Now, I didn't have you or know about you when I was going through the toughest times of my life. But you step out into the world and you help people that are like me, people that are like our listeners. What is it that you've discovered in helping these folks when they discover joy can be theirs?
What I think I've discovered is that you need to commit. You need to have the willingness to commit and allow your passion to awaken and speak up. And listen to the signals that are within you, and not to think it's okay to be really good at something you don't love, and isn't that true?
Oh boy. It is painful. I know it because I've been in life this way, Jane. I think you and we're not talking because we read some books. So let's just be clear about this. You and I have gone through life. And there have been some cards that were dealt our way. And I know for myself, I had to make a choice. of how much of my life I was going to live in a story. And, in the last show, Jane, I would love for you to talk about this, about the presence within.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even know I had a presence within. I did not even know I had a presence within. But boy, I'm so grateful for example, Amy Sarah, high school teacher that pulled me aside. And God, I think I'm going to cry if I share this here. She pulled me aside, Jane, and she said, Pat, I see something special in you. And I looked at her, Jane, and I said, I have nothing special. And she never let up on that. And I got through high school because of that angel. What do you do in the work that you do to help people see that presence within, Jane?
It's peeling back the layers, all those limiting self-beliefs that become habitual and self-limiting thinking. And you just get into a pattern of doing that, and you don't even realize that you're doing it. You're not awake to, the spark within and your joy and just who you really are. And we all have those gifts. But if we're not paying attention to it, we're just going through the motions in life, So the surest way to act on your own greatness is to be in tune with that inner gift that you're talking about, your inner magnificence, embracing that. All of us grew up, people say, well, I don't know what that is, but you do know what that is, because your parents, your friends, your people in the neighborhood, maybe people at the church you attend, or people in your community said things to you when you were growing up that you were really good at, and you have this knowing that you are really good at something. And if you take the time to tap in to that, you can create your reality and live the life that you want to live, as long as you don't let your light dim and allow fear to take over. And it's being willing to act. That is the thing where I see people in my practice, where they're not stepping into their gift. They're waiting for all their ducks to line up, and everything to have enough money. I'll get this degree. We'll wait till I get the house. I'll get married. I'll do all these things. And all this time is going by and they're not stepping into it. It's the fear that keeps them from becoming who they're meant to be. And they're dimming their light, and their soul's calling. You have to keep your light on in order to have your path illuminated and take action. And if you don't take action, you'll never realize the magnificence of the gifts that you're here to shed your light for everybody.
Wow. Listen, we're going to take a short break, but here's what I want to say to everybody. Jane is somebody that works with people and helps them ignite that thing, that part of themselves. And the work that she does is beyond what anything that I could explain to you. And that's why today we would love to open up the phone lines for those of you that would love to call in, whether it's to get an angel card reading today, or whether it's to, understand how to clear some of the energy you have, all of the above. Her intuition in the work that she does for Enlightened Path is just amazing. So remember, we're here to talk about passion and purpose. And if you need a little help with that along the way, that's what today is all about. 1-800-930-2819. What are the angels saying? How do they tap in and create that, ignite that passion and purpose? 1-800-930-2819. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, are you ready to let go, say goodbye of the excuses? We'll be right back.
to The Truth is Funny with Colette Steffen each Wednesday at 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern on TransformationTalkRadio.com. This hit show will have you thinking outside the box and riding the wave of infinite potential. Join Colette on the Higher Self Network, inspiring listeners to shine their brilliance and ensure success while roaring with laughter as they recognize the humor of the giant cosmic joke. Visit thetruthисfunny.com.
Integrate spirituality into your everyday lives on Universe Soul Heart Radio. Tune in each month on Transformation Talk Radio as Kathleen Johnson explores the concept of sensible spirituality, keeping you grounded, connected, and centered on the path to wholeness. Kathleen has dedicated her life to facilitating holistic healing and wholeness in others. Listen to Universe Soul Heart Radio and learn how to flourish, grow, and impact all we do on planet Earth. For more information, go to universesoulheart.net.
Don't you wish you had more joy in your life? Check out the new book by Robert Max Schoenfeld, For the Love of Joy, a 30-day adventure for creating joy in your life because you deserve more joy, more love, more health, more abundance, and more life. Available now on Amazon. Get your copy today. Visit theartofpowerfulliving.com. That's theartofpowerfulliving.com.
What is a brilliant culture, and how do we create them? Why are they important? Claudette Rowley has created a breakthrough 5-step process to help you align your culture with your business strategy for exceptional results. Looking for a culture that drives organizational excellence? Listen to Cultural Brilliance Radio, the second and fourth Friday of each month at 10 a.m. Pacific and 1 p.m. Eastern on Transformation Talk Radio. To learn more or work with Claudette, visit culturalbrilliance.com.
To find answers to life's questions, you need to look within yourself. Dr. Glenna Rice brings your questionable conversations on Transformation Talk Radio each month. Tune in each month for insight into how you can live up to your full potential. Dr. Glenna is a physical therapist, certified Access Consciousness, and Access Body Class facilitator. How does it get any better than this? For more information on Dr. Glenna Rice and her work, visit glennarice.com.
Are you ready to make deep, lasting, transformative changes? Then tune in each month on Transformation Talk Radio for Susanna Jameson's hit show, Love, Light, Sound Radio. During her show, Susanna inspires and supports spiritually and health-conscious individuals all over the world to reconnect with their hearts, their inner peace, and balance. Love, Light, Sound Radio. Transformation happens here now. For more information, visit SusannaJameson.com.
Wait for someone to tear it down, then pack it up in boxes, head for the next time. 'Cause I've got memories and travel like gypsies in the night. And 1,000 times I've seen this
like it.
Yeah, Jane and I are just jumping to the music Benny selected. Thank you, Benny.
Welcome.
Thank you. That was awesome.
I know. Hey, everybody. Grow Your Soul Radio with Jane Matanga joining me here today. Ignite your inner magic. That's what today's about. For more information about Jane and how to connect with her directly, go to enlightened-path.com. Check it out. We have opened up the phone lines today. We are ready to get your flow on the go. But before we do, I want to make sure, and Cassie, hang on, we'll get right to the phone. One of the things that I wanted to talk about is coming back now and following up to this idea of Cassie and Charlene. We'll be right there. They're looking for some angel help from you here today.
Oh, sure.
All right. Passion always trumps excuses. I love that. I've never heard that phrase. That is important. But I want to ask you to talk about it a little bit, and then we'll go right to the phones.
You know, when you're passionate about what you do, it just gives you a direction. It motivates you. It's a force. It's a light that just it burns inside of you. It's an excitement, and you're in the flow. You know you're on the right path. You know it feels good, and you were meant to do it. And you don't. When you're in that zone, you don't let anything get in the way. It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. It doesn't matter what your friends say. It doesn't matter if they're naysayers or if they say, what? Why are you doing this? You're 50. You don't listen to any of that. Julia Child didn't get to be cooking until she was 50. And yeah. And so, all these things that society tells us that we should pay attention to are all limiting beliefs. It gets in the way of doing what you love. So it's when your passion is speaking, there are no excuses. You don't have any excuses. Nothing stands in your way, and you're not going to be sacrificing, your life's energy for something other than what you are lit up about and what you totally are passionate about. And you act on it because it's a force that is so, sometimes these things happen. You see something, you hear something, you hear a conversation, and it triggers something in you that is a passion, a feeling, a stirring, an awakening, and it's something that you feel you need to act on. And it's just, it's a calling.
Mm-hmm. It is a calling. Mm-hmm. And you can't explain it. So Jane, I was talking about this the other day, and one of the things I mentioned was that, my friends look at me and they just think I've lost my mind. They look at me and they say things like, okay, man, you're working. This is them now. That's not me. Just want to say, yeah, you're working too hard. And what are you doing? You're going to grow your network to what? From 2 channels to 10 this year. And then you're creating like the positive mojo movement. And they're looking at me. Here's what they said. Pat, shouldn't you be winding down? What is that, Jane?
It's a limiting belief, and it's we pay way too much attention to age in our society. They don't in other cultures. They embrace in Japan and in the Orient. They embrace their elders. They take care of them. They admire their wisdom and they learn from that. And somehow we've forgotten that. In terms of what's important. Your knowledge, your light, what your life's lessons, they're so valuable, and how you express and how you handle and embrace your beliefs and how you created your life, how you handle challenges and how you keep your light lit. And, that's your power. That's your power beyond any measure. It's keeping your light lit. And then being in tune with that energy. Does it, if somebody says something to you and you're with someone, does it inspire you? Does it weaken you? Does it light you up? Those are all the things to pay attention to, and you give power to that. And when you learn how to get good at that, you stay in that. And, as a life mastery coach, I know for sure people who are in touch with their passion, some people can be very successful without tapping into that, but you're never as happy and you're never as successful. That's not saying that you can't be successful or that but you're not joyful.
Get it. Yeah. Yeah, I think we're talking about something very, very rare. And honestly, my friend said it to me the other day. They said the time where that shows up, where people just trudge through it is, and what was the quote? They gave me a quote from some movie. Desperate measures for desperate times. And I'm like, oh my God, I don't know how to live a life like that. Now, let's do this. Let's go to the phones. I would love, Jane, for you to meet our fabulous listeners. Let's find out what we can do to help them out. Mr. Benny.
Sure. I will take Cassie calling in from Mukilteo. Hello, Cassie.
Hey, Cassie.
Hey, Cassie.
Hi. Thanks for taking my call.
Hey, how can we help you today? What's on your mind?
So all this conversation about following your passion and things like that, it really resonates with me. I have been teaching yoga for a little over a year, and I it's my passion. I mean, anything it's like everything that I love all kind of rolled into one modality, right? So it's like healing, meditation, fitness, teaching, it's everything, you know, and I also have a full-time job. But when I teach yoga, it doesn't feel like work. Like it's I could teach, you know, forever, right? But
there it is. It's right there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, it's definitely my passion, and and I'm a seeker too. So I'm just like always, I'm like you, Pat, like I'm just always looking for something new. And I want to learn as much as I can, not just about yoga, but about my spirituality and my purpose and meaning and all this stuff, you know. But my dilemma is my husband. You know, like I'm not the same person that he married. And I don't feel support. I think that he thinks that I'm selfish. Because I'm following my dream and trying to, you know, go into what ignites me and things like that. And he doesn't, I don't know. So
it's okay if you're not on the same path. You know, you don't have to be on the same path. And you know, different life lessons, different reincarnations. We're all in a different place, and that's okay. You know, I think that the main thing is, and you don't need, even though it's nice, you know, support is good, but they don't have to be where you are to love you. And, you know, people love in different ways. And as long as they're supportive, it might not look like the way you want it to, but maybe that's the way he knows how to. Are you saying
no, I mean,
that?
I think that he is doing the best he can. It's not like he's trying to shut it down or anything like that. But, you know, we have kids too, and that whole, like, mom guilt comes into play, and it's just kind of a shift, you know, like you spend most of your marriage and adult, well, whatever, my kids are 10 and 8, so the last, you know, decade focused on being a mom and just going to work, you know, just to work, like not following any sort of like passion, just kind of taking that path. And now I'm focusing more on myself, and I guess I just want to know, I want to be reassured that I'm not being selfish and that
you're not being selfish. You're not, because you
there you
deserve.
Go. There you go,
no,
right there.
You're totally not, because you know eventually they're going to live their own lives sooner than later. That happens so fast, and they are going to be responsible for that, and you're responsible for yours. So the choice that you're making to step into that is the right one, because you deserve happiness. We all do. And how do you get that? If you light up when you talk about it. I can feel it.
Yeah.
So you are absolutely answering that thing that's in you that means so much, that you enjoy. You say it's not work. That's it. That's what we're talking about. So if you were to give that up, you know, for how would that feel?
It would feel
not so good, right? So how is that being
such
selfish?
A void.
Exactly. So you are a better example to everyone, your children, your friends, the community, when you are happy, when you're lit up, when you're giving of yourself and you feel whole. And one of the ways that you feel whole is yoga.
Yeah, I have to tell you, I hear this. I work with women, and so does Jane. Jane does amazing coaching, both of us. And I work with women as well, from all walks of life, you know, from those that are sitting in the soup line to those that could probably buy the soup line. And one of the things that I want to say about this is that many of us that are here today, like I am here today, doing what I love to create a better world, we have had to look at the relationships in our lives. And sometimes, and I'm not saying this is you, but if you listen to Mark in the last hour, he was really clear about it. He said it directly. Sometimes you're going to be able to stay in the relationships you're in and flourish and grow together. And sometimes you're not. And, that's where Jane's work comes in to help get clarity on that. But there has to be a dial of communication, a channel between ourselves and our loved ones. And the door of that level of communication has to hold the space for being able to say, I am doing what I love. And support would be appreciated, but it's not required. And that's a hard lesson. I mean, Jane, maybe you have a better way to say it. I'm a little bit direct, Cassie.
I think that's my issue is I'm not as direct. I don't know. I'm such a people pleaser, so it's hard, to do it all.
But but that's the thing with us, all of us women, we are people pleasers and we try to do everything for everyone and we neglect ourselves. Yeah. And so then what happens? Then you start feeling maybe a little resentful and you start feeling a little less happy.
A lot of resentment.
Yeah. Because, because you're not allowing yourself to live the life you want to live. And so that is your inspiration and your light speaking to you. That's your soul talking to you, saying, pay attention to that because everyone's life is important. Everyone has a gift and you do too. And, being a mom is an amazing thing. But you deserve happiness and doing things that you love, just like your husband and just like your children. Everybody's happier doing that. So there's the balance. You have to have a balance in life because if you give up on the things you love, where do you find your joy? Then it's all, a shadow of your life. It's a shadow of a job. It's a shadow of your talent. It's letting go of your dream. It's not allowing your light to be lit. It's not living an awakened life. It's worrying. It's worrying about the hows, how to make everybody happy and forgetting about what you are here to do, which includes living a joyful, happy, passionate life.
Yeah.
Right. It's weird when I stop thinking about how I'm going to make everyone happy, then it makes me feel like I don't care, so it's just a matter of shifting, I guess, and I don't know.
It is. It's how you view it. So what I'm hearing is you're being really hard on yourself right now. And that's not serving you because if you beat yourself up, that's not, it's not constructive. Do you know? It's dimming your light. It's not lighting you up. So instead of paying attention to that, pay attention to the stuff you love.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think in an ideal world, too, right, Jane? In an ideal world, what we would love to be able to do is sit down with the people we love and say, here's where I am in my life right now. Here's the things that bring me joy. Here are the things that bring you joy. Can we support each other in this way? And, those are the beginnings for opening up a dialogue. Now, a lot of times people have done that already, Cassie. They've done that. They've sat down and they've said, honey, here's where we are. This is what brings me passion and joy and inspires me to be a better mom. And really, that's the truth.
It is the truth.
Right. And at some point, Jane, you're either going to get somebody that is going to listen to that and take the journey with you or not. But I think
Right.
what we're trying to say, and we said it in the previous hour, is, this life is not about selling part of our soul for somebody else's bliss.
Thank you. That is exactly
Yes.
what I needed to hear. That is
Exactly.
that truth right there. For real. Thank
And
you so much.
And here's the other thing. What I'm also hearing you say is that you've shifted a little bit in terms of, you have a passion that's been ignited now that maybe wasn't a few years ago. And so sometimes it's an education process. It's something, sometimes, this is not a sexist statement, but it's sometimes men are so involved in their work that they don't notice a shift or a change. And then all of a sudden it's there and they don't quite understand. They don't understand the shift.
Right.
So, Pat is making a very, very good point. And that is communication is one of the things that is the most important thing in everything, because if you're communicating what you feel and what's in your heart, and explaining that, when there's love there, there becomes an understanding, and it just could be taking the time to explain really how important it is to you.
You give it your best shot, and then it either works or it doesn't, and then you call Jane and ask for a follow-up session. So that you don't have to do this alone. And I don't recommend you doing things like this alone, because resentment is a number one offender. Resentment begets more resentment. I found that in my own life.
Yeah. It's hard to kind of get over that, like after so many years, and then, kind of like not really realizing that that's what's been going on. I don't know, just like yesterday, I had this major light bulb moment. I was like, oh my gosh, that's what it is. It's resentment. It's like all these years of, holding on to things that I didn't realize I was holding on to,
I would call Jane and get some clearing out, because even before you sit down and have a conversation. And the reason I say that, Cassie, is because without clearing that out or getting some help with the layers, as Jane talked about, when you sit down, that resentment is an incredible force, and you don't want that to show up. But congratulations to you for recognizing it, because now you can go. Now you can do something about it. Right, Jane?
Absolutely. I mean, the congratulations, absolutely, because you see it, and now you can address it, communicate it, and communicate, how your feelings and the importance of this in your life, and help them to understand that.
Yeah. Cassie, thank you. Listen.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
Yeah. Thank you. Jane, what's the best way for people to follow up with you directly?
They can write to me at info@enlightened-path.com.
Cool.
And there's, on the website, there's information and a phone number as well.
Good. Let's go right to the next caller, Benny, if we could.
Yep. We'll take Charlene calling in from Canada. Hello, Charlene.
Hey, Charlene.
Hi. How are you, ladies?
Hi, Charlene.
Awesome.
Hi.
We are awesome. Great to hear from you.
I have some exciting news.
Okay.
I am moving, and
to Seattle.
I've been off work since last year, so with fibromyalgia and vertigo, and I knew that my living environment wasn't serving me.
Yeah.
And luckily, I found a beautiful, brand new place. And just absolutely gorgeous, just like on HGTV where you see all the and it's double the amount that I'm paying here, but I'm worth it.
Yeah,
and,
you are worth it.
I need the sunshine, and I was like, I'm in a basement suite right now, and what my question is because I know that the last few months I've been healing due to things that have happened, deaths and things like that. But my question, I just all of a sudden went, I'm the doctor was saying, he tentatively put me back to work for the 22nd of March, but I'm not feeling that right now because a move's a huge thing. And I think I should be focused on setting my new place up, and then I think with that flow of actually getting moving, because I was sedentary, like I was in bed for so long.
Mm-hmm.
What do you see for me? I'm so excited about this move.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of passion because it's I am such an outgoing person normally, unless I have a flare up, right?
Uh-huh.
So this is, for me, it's like coming from the darkness back, taking the bounce back into the light, and it's ignited something in me that, we do that so many times in life where we'll go through certain things and then we take that bounce.
It feels like home is what you're saying.
I stand in my own way.
Yeah.
It sounds like you did. And I think you're right about taking time to settle in. It is very emotional, and you tapped into that. It's very emotional when you move. It doesn't matter what your age is. It is. It's a big thing. And so I think you're right to pay attention to that, to tap into that, to get, into your new community and feel good about it, and then you're ready. So, I think that you're very wise to listen to that, that voice that's talking to you.
Mm-hmm.
And just take some time for me.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I just enjoy listening to this, I am so grateful for everything. I have so much gratitude. Thank you, ladies.
Yeah, thank you. And, the other thing also that, believe me, I'm someone that understands pain, chronic pain. And, one of the things that I learned, I don't know if you listened to the last show, the thing that I learned in the darkest moment of my life is that no matter what goes on in my life, nobody can steal my attitude. Nobody can take from me. So it doesn't matter if I'm having 15 different flare-ups in the same hour. The one thing that pain cannot steal from me is my joy and my perspective on life. And if you hold that in the forefront, if you hold it, and I'm not saying do it perfectly, not to feel what you're feeling. I'm saying, but hold that thing that says, listen, I get it, what you're trying to do here to my body, and you're not going to steal my joy. That is what got me through and kept me doing this radio show in the middle of some horrific pain. And that's what I would say. Hold on to that freedom that you have.
Thank you. Thank you, both of you. I have such deep gratitude that there's people out there that actually care.
Yeah, we do care, Charlene.
We do.
Absolutely do care.
I love you. Ladies, have a beautiful day.
You too. And please, would you call in and keep us updated on your progress?
On your new beautiful place.
Yeah, we want to hear the journey. Okay, good. Thank you.
We love you back.
Love you too. Thank you so much. Thank you, Charlene. Hey, Jane, I love that. I told you that we have the best listeners on the planet. Yeah,
we do.
I know.
Yeah, we do. For sure.
I know.
Absolutely do.
I want to really tap back into what both of these incredible women just talked about, what they just said. And that talks to the notion of let nothing dim the light. That's part of our message today. Let nothing dim the light and know that we are amazing. One of the things I've heard you say is don't squeeze your amazingness into a square box. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, because, it's we get all these images from people, and people tell us what they think we should do. And we have a tendency to listen to that instead of tuning into our own intuition and our own energy and our own desire. And so when we're listening to what everybody else is saying, we're not paying attention to who we are. And we try to squeeze ourselves into a box, which doesn't fit. So it's okay not to be like everybody else. It's totally awesome to be like nobody else and just be you. And give yourself permission to do that and liberate yourself from any of and all of the stuff that's out there and just be your unique, beautiful self. And don't worry about the hows. Just worry about what you want to do and focus on that and start taking some steps towards doing that. I mean, do the thing you're called to do. You know, whatever words you want to say, you know, say them. Yeah. Whatever your dream is, live that, you know, that call that's deep in your soul. Do that, you know, and whatever lights you up, do that. You know, there isn't another option as far as, you know, I can see where you are joyful and happy. And it's just like Pat said, what she does, she loves, and she's wonderful at it. And she lights up, and look at all the light that's going out to everybody and helping everybody. And it doesn't feel like work. And that's when you're listening to your intuition, your soul, and your light. You know, so don't wait till all your ducks are lined up in a row. Do it now. Don't wait to feel you're ready, or wait till you have, you know, XYZ, so much money, or that you're in the right place. Do your thing. You know, it's you're ready. Like, right?
Well, yeah, I love what you're talking about because, you know, what is it that I shared earlier? My mom used to say, there's no time like the present. She would be like that. You know, she would be like, there's no time like the present. Okay, you want to go back to school? All right, start taking action to do that. That's what she did. Studied, went back, got a GED. You know, she's like me. Take the test 5 times, but you pass. If you want to, you know, spend some time and go play a sport, well, you do that. But we have this all or nothing mentality sometimes, Jane, and we're waiting to be this perfection of what that is in our minds that we have to be. But this idea of watching from the sidelines, man, that hurts.
It's painful to live your life like that. I mean, it's you know, that's where the resentment and the unhappiness comes from. And it's a scary prospect when you think about it.
Yeah.
To think about letting everything you want and your dream go because, you know, habitual thinking, or because maybe you don't feel supported. You know, don't wait. You know, everything we want is on the other side of fear, and it's never as challenging as we think it's going to be. Whatever we can concoct in our head that's preventing us from taking the step forward towards what we love is much scarier than reality. And you know, once you take the step, you know, the next one's easier, and it's easier. And that's not to say that sometimes it isn't scary if you've built this, you know, job or whatever it is that you're doing, but that you're not loving. You know, yeah, it's a little scary to step out of that, but what's the alternative?
Yeah.
You know,
and the other thing too, and you mentioned this earlier, and I want to get back to it, is, all right, let's say we've got that big job and, you know, it's not like our dream job. There's nothing that stops us from continuing in that job and exploring our passion in a parallel way until we're ready to take the next step. And so what we do, though, is we say, I mean, unlike Cassie, who called in earlier, where she's like, I'm doing the yoga and I'm a mom, and we can, believe it or not, okay, so I know you guys are going to send me a lot of emails on this. I'm one of these people that says, yes, I am a woman. I do believe I can do it all. I really do.
Yes, and most of us do.
Yeah.
We do it all because we're very capable of doing it all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So isn't that part of the message today, in what you're talking about, is to look at this, Grow Your Soul Radio is what this is. This is your show. This is all about how we grow our soul, how we can ignite that inner magic.
Absolutely. It's how we learn to think a little differently and to embrace that change and take that step forward and find the courage to take that leap. Just a little one, but make the little leap, and the next one is easier, and the one after that is easier than that. So, and then you're so much happier, and then you look back on that and you go, it was so much easier than I thought, and I'm so much happier and glad that I did, and the longer you stay in your situation that doesn't fit, the harder it is to take the leap. So yeah.
I think it helps us build up our belief muscle. It helps us build up our belief muscle. I think if I had $1 for every time somebody told me I couldn't do something, you and I, we'd probably be building retreat centers for people all over the world with that money. And, it's because whether we look like something or we don't have enough of something in somebody's eyes, but I have found that when people tell me I can't do something, something clicks in me. It's like this little alien inside of me that says, really? You don't think I can do that? Okay, watch me. Now, I've learned I don't want to wait for that to happen, but sometimes, the adversity we have in our life can be the inspiration for the next step, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, sometimes our challenges really do bring us to looking at things in a different way, and it definitely can be inspiration to light us up to move in that direction.
Now, you have an exercise that you give people about writing a list of things that we feel passionate. In the last couple of minutes we have, can you please tell our folks about what that exercise is to help them?
Yeah, one of the exercises that really helps is really thinking about your ideal life and how that would look like on a day-to-day and what types of things you would be doing if you were living your ideal life. So you could make a list of 10 things, or you could make a list of 5, whatever you're comfortable with. Start with that. And then expand upon that. What are you doing? Who are you with? How does it feel? What does it look like? What are the measures of your success? Like, are you on a radio talk show? Are you, are you living in a certain part of the country? Are you writing a book that you've always wanted to write that only you can write with the experience that you have? And then who's along with you? And the more you expand upon that, you just keep expanding. And so what that does is you start to feel it and you start to live it because you're visualizing. And so you're visualizing your new life. And that's a powerful thing because then you start, and you start putting that in front of yourself every day, whether it's a vision board or a picture, and and this is, you remind yourself, so that you don't dim your light and that you keep going towards, your passion and your dream and what you want it to look and feel and be. And that's an exercise. It's very powerful because once you start to feel it as you write it and you expand upon that, you feel it and you start to really get back in touch with all those things that are important to you. And it's an amazing exercise to do.
It's powerful.
Visualization and just, all your successes and who you're working with and how that feels. And, if you're writing a book and an author and what publishing house are you with and where are you speaking as a result of that and who's calling you, and you just like go through the whole thing. And it's just like the more you do that and the more you look at that, the more you want to do it and you go after it.
I know. Man, I love this. Jane, thank you. Jane is going to be back next month. We are just warming up here. Thank you so much. Last question, personal message. What would you like to leave us with today? And thank you.
Oh, it's been grand. I would just ask everybody to remember that everything that you want is on the other side of fear.
I love that. Jane Matanga, everybody. I'm Dr. Pat. For more information about Jane, as I said before, we've made it super easy. You can actually go back and listen to her past show on Transformation Talk Radio, or what you can do is go to her website, enlightened-path.com. All of the above. Thanks, Jane. Thank you so much. You rock.
Thank you. It was awesome.
Yeah, boy. Thank you, Benny, for pushing all the right buttons.
Thank you, Benny.
And deep, deep gratitude for all y'all out there. Make yourself a super crust-busting day.
You've been listening to Grow Your Soul Radio with Jane Matanga on TransformationTalkRadio.com. Thank you for tuning in, and we hope you'll join us next week as Jane helps you unlock and reclaim the magic in your life. For more information on Jane Matanga or to listen to past shows, visit her website at enlightened-path.com or growyoursoulradio.com. And don't forget to ask Jane about her amazing intuitive life mastery session. See you next time.
The preceding audio was via a Skype call.